Hello and welcome to the November 2020 MoD Keynote. This is going to outline some of our current and future projects in Asexia. So I'm the current Minister of Defence. I've held this position for a few months now, and I've obviously held this position historically in the past. And as one of Asexia's key defence contributors, I'm very honoured to have this position. The first point of order is the Joint Enlistment Registry Database, or the JERD, and this is essentially where we register the enlisted personnel in the armed forces. We've promised a lot of reform here recently and a few months ago, and I'm glad to say that it will be completed by the end of the week, and we will release a statement regarding how future candidates can enlist in the process that they can do this. In addition, at some point in the next fortnight, basic anonymous statistics will be published regarding the composition of the armed forces and the size of it, as well as this. The MicroWiki page will be updated, and it ensures we have the manpower that we need, which is this problem that we constantly struggle with, really. And it's going to ensure we have the clear systems in place to manage that manpower as well. Second point of order is EAST, our space program. It's renowned throughout the micronational community for being very forward-thinking, innovative as far as micronational space programs go. Despite delays due to COVID-19, we can announce that the next rocket launch will now be February 2021, which is only a few months away. The Epstein Mark II-C will attempt to reach 100 meters, that's around 330 foot, and that's due to some revised motor mount, as well as some different internal systems, including a first onboard computer to really get an accurate altitude. And this is the logo for Alpha Flight, which is essentially the first phase of the space program. Once we reach that 100 meter achievement, then this entire first phase will be complete, which is a monumentous achievement. In addition, we're going to be talking about the Muncie refit, and it has a very fancy logo, as you can see here. And essentially, due to the JWIC being retired earlier this year and subsequently scrapped, we are currently without an effective carrier. As such, we're going to be taking the IN Muncie, which is meant to be a battleship, and we're going to be turning it into a smaller but still capable aircraft carrier. We'll finish the conversion by the end of January, but it will likely be some time around December, and it will still act as a testbed for future technologies, but it will be in service at the same time. And this also links into the next announcement, which is the Joint Armed Forces Aircraft Program. This is a recent development, but it's something we have been thinking about for quite a while. Due to the loss of the JWIC and several operational issues with our current aircraft, we need a new one, basically. So we've joined together, and we're going to be working with EAST, and we've set up Common Aerospace Systems in order to achieve this goal. It's going to be Asexia's first domestically built and designed combat-capable aircraft. It's going to have 1 or 2 engines, and it will either be short takeoff and landing, short takeoff vertical landing, or vertical takeoff and landing, depending on what our engine and engineers can achieve. It will be entirely funded by the program itself for the initial prototypes, and we already have a full-phase development plan in order to achieve our goals. It will also have hard-on capabilities, so thinking firecrackers or weapons that can be used in combat training scenarios. It will then be implemented in both the Imperial Army of Asexia and the Imperial Asexian Navy, so it will be truly joint. And as I said, this is what it's going to be called. It's going to be the Common Aerospace Systems F3A T1 Heron. Obviously the Heron, like the Cormorant, is a coastal bird, and in order to achieve this, CA Systems has been set up to build Asexia's future aircraft. So here's an inspirational quote. These projects will ultimately put the Asexian Armed Forces back on track to becoming a capable and efficient fighting force, as well as a micronationally innovative scientific power. And I say back on track because COVID-19 and just general inactivity had kind of put us off, but I'm hoping this keynote has shown that we are committed to improving our defense capabilities. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming along for the ride.